Today we will discuss about classical utilitarianism, which is an important component of justice. The Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill are the important proponent of this classical utilitarianism. Classical utilitarianism is primarily based on the happiness factor, which was the universally appealed to many theorists all over the world. It is based on the normative ethics. Bentham, in his hedonistic calculus theory, primarily looked at greatest happiness of the greatest number. For Bentham, any action, human action or actions by the government and the state, should provide maximum happiness and minimum pain. So, he calculates the pleasure and pain theory, what is popularly called as hedonistic principle. Bentham was influenced by two political philosophers, David Hume and Thomas Hobbes. Thomas Hobbes also explains the principle of psychological egoism is providing happiness to the individual. So, from there the ideas have been taken from Thomas Hobbes and David Hume, and Jeremy Bentham started extending and explaining that in a complete principle, what he calls as a hedonistic calculus, where whenever we take any moral or just action, we should measure value of our action with respect to happiness and suffering as per the following 7 factors. The first factor is intensity. Intensity means the magnitude of happiness or pain that is likely to be caused by our action. Second factor is duration. Duration means the specific period till which happiness or pain that is likely to be caused by our action will last. Third is certainty. Certainty defines how likely the happiness or pain will be outcome of our action. Fourth is proximity. Proximity explains the closeness of pain or pleasure with the performance of our action. Fifth is fecundity. Fecundity means that how likely the current pain or pleasure will lead to further pleasure or pain. Sixth factor is purity. How much one sensation, happiness or pain, is mixed with the other sensation of happiness or pain. And the last factor is the extent. It indicates the number of people that are affected by our decision. He identifies that happiness should be not for an individual person, but happiness to the society at large. He further extends that, saying that happiness should be the maximum, suffering or pain should be the minimum. Robert Rayner explains about the popularity of Bentham's utilitarianism in important 3 reasons. What are the 3 important reasons? First is a simple test, because what is appealable to human nature or any society is about pleasure, is about happiness. So, therefore, this principle of utilitarianism, which primarily speaks about doing good, right things, was more appealable to the societies. Second reason, aura of benevolence, because we do not want to do bad things, we want to do good things, we wanted to do something which will give more happiness to the people, advantage to the society. Third important popularity of Bentham's theory is, it has egalitarian foundation. It is speaking about where everybody is equal. It is also impartial. So, these are the 3 important reasons for the popularity of the Bentham. Now, let us look at how do we apply Bentham principles of utilitarianism, taking two examples which Michael Sandel, professor in the Harvard Law School, in his lectures on justice primarily uses these two principles. First, let us look at, is torture justified under the Benthamite philosophy? Torture is primarily causing infliction of pain, infliction of unhappiness, infliction of something which is bad on any human being. He may be an accused, he may be a suspect, he may be a hardcore terrorist, he may be a person who is a professional thief. But should we allow infliction of pain on any citizen? Benthamite philosophers, utilitarians will accept it, because for them the important principle is any action which will provide greatest happiness to the greatest number and a minimum pain. But whereas the Kantian philosophers will not accept violation of a constitutional principle of right to life, right not to be tortured, and right against cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment. If you look at the Indian context, Article 21 has built up an entire edifice which clearly said that torture is a what is called as a not justified. Right against torture is a uniform non-derogable right. Article 21, starting from several cases, we can look at Sheila Barse to D.K. Basu, has clearly enunciated that torture under no circumstances is justified. If you look at the international human rights principle also, Convention Against Torture clearly says torture is not justified, because once you justify a torture, what happens is it will become, it creates an institutionalization justifying the torture. So, let us extend this to another situation where there is a information, reliable information with the police that there is going to be an explosion of a bomb, and the only information will be known if you catch hold of terrorist daughter, youngest daughter, who has no knowledge about this, but police and start torturing her to get this information. So, in that Benthamite philosophers definitely will justify the torture, whereas a Kantian philosophers will never agree for the torture. So, we could use this principle of the justification of torture with the vis-a-vis the utilitarian principle. Utilitarianism, as we discuss, has a major appeal, and in fact it is the first proponent of the legal theory. In fact, if you look at the Indian Penal Code, Macaulay was a follower of the Bentham, and Bentham's philosophy we could see is almost all incorporated into the Indian Penal Code. The notions of justice in the context of utilitarianism we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.